Hey tubers, it's a little after 9 on Tuesday, March 28th, and we're about 68 in the garage. And sorry I haven't been making videos, but I've been tinkering in here, and like I say, I get started in here and then keep forgetting to turn on the camera. I got a piece of 2-inch pipe and a piece of 3-inch steel pipe, using that so I can sit there and bend. This is 1/2-inch welding rod or brazing rod that I could sit there and bend it and make the pattern out of for the panel. This is 3/16 I decided steel rod that I will end up making the panel out of. Got a few things ordered. What I did is I ordered the panel for the quarter window, or I guess you call it the quarter window there. Panel goes right down in here, so I could see where I'm starting with the panel. I got these as unassembled. As you can see here, hold on, bear with me guys, I'm doing this one-handed. Here is the the passenger side one, and you see all the extra material that they put on it in case you want to do something different and custom on it. I end up saving this in case I ever want to do anything. I have the padding material and then the piece of vinyl, so I can take it to a fabric store and match it. This one, as you can see in the back, I've already cut and used contact cement and put it together. Also, I got from Home Pro I got a nutsert kit to do the nutserts, and so for mounting the panel, the panels, they are going to be removable. So let me put this back up. This wasn't bad. This was here in case you want to go see these guys. This was $119, and got about 30 extra nutserts in there, and here's a piece. It works out pretty good. This is I went to McFadden Dale and picked up, what is it, 1/4x28 or 1/4x20 button top screws to mount the panel in. They're stainless steel. So, God, doing this one-handed. So, that'll be the look then that we'll end up with when the panel's mounted in the car. So, contact cement for gluing the other panel together, and so that's where I'm at. And so, let me pull this down. Also, been on the phone with Gary Ramsey at Ramsey Customs or Turbo Cobra, and I tried making this out of 16 gauge, and this will be the start of the panel, as it will come out this way and go around, and we'll end up drilling probably evenly spaced going around the nutserts for the button top screws, or socket button top or button head. That'll go around in here, probably about 4, I'm thinking. But I tried using my bandsaw and it wouldn't cut it. It's just a little 10-inch hobby bandsaw. And then I tried mounting it down on a piece of OSB and cutting it out with a saber saw, and it wouldn't do it. I drew it up in AutoCAD, and I sent Gary the file, and just got off the phone with him, and he's going to go ahead and cut it out and send me 2 of them. They're a little long, but the radius is there, and I'll be able to trim them up for what I need. So that's where we're at on that. Got a few errands to do this morning, and when I get back, then we're going to put this in and start seeing how we're going to come about and start figuring out how this panel's all going to work together. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on. Later, guys. Hey, fellas. I should say tubers, or guys and gals, or whoever. Man, let me get in this. Alright, clamp this panel in and see where it's going to fall. And to give me a starting point, we've got to go from point A over here to where the pedestal is, to where the ECM will mount here, and then the fuse panel mounts up here, if you remember correctly. So this will be the start and wrap around and come here to the finish. So I needed to mark where this ended up, and so we could sit there and make the panel. The panels aren't going to be identical to either side, but they will be darn close. As you can see, we got something up in here that we're going to have to make, but we can clamp it onto this. This is far away from the wheelhouse opening, but the panel is down and right there where it's supposed to be, and right up there. Actually, you can go up a little higher there. So I'm going to start from here, then wrap around. So if we, two things that, the 2 strips that Gary's making me that'll go along this radius right here, we'll start with the wire or the roll stock to go over here and then come on over to here. This up here we have to watch, because I want to incorporate all this. This will be the only thing sticking out, will be this right here, and the rest of it I want to keep back into the panel. This I just want to go ahead and felt and then put some vinyl on it, and that's it. I don't want to do anything more with that. So decisions on what to do. We could make a piece and just stick it up in there, and actually it only has to come from about here on, and then we have to incorporate all this. So let me sit here and think about this and sketch a few things up, and I'll turn this back on later. Okay, tubers, this looks like this is going to be the pattern. Come like that, and it's pretty much what it'll do is, let's see, well, what it'll do is you'll just slope back up. So this distance from here to here will slowly get shorter and shorter and shorter as it goes back up, because when we get up to here, from the washer out, we want sticking out from the panel, because there'll be just a hole this big here, that we screw this in through the hole on the panel and put it in. So, and we need this out to here. The opening will be roughly, we'll put a piece coming down from here down to here, and that's where the panel will start, come over, and then coast back in. But it starts roughly right there, and that's how much of the bracket of this bracket I want hanging out. It'll be all painted black and everything, but and then as it comes up, you'll see it's pretty much and then roughly when it gets up to about this point is when this will start to shrink. So roughly at about here, this distance will shrink. So I'll have to make another one of these, and with a shorter distance for up there on the top. I'm just going to put a panel, make a panel that goes in here. This will stay black, and roughly the panel will stop. Top of the panel will be right in here. Right here, and come across. This line represents the top of the package tray. This line represents the bottom. This is right up against the package tray. There is some adjustment in that, not much, but again, once I get, where is it? Well, I figured it out. Once we get down to the bottom of the package tray, we're 3/4 of an inch away from the back of the seat. The seat's roughly at 60 degrees back. So, and it sticks up about an inch from the package tray. Oh, geez, who's on the phone now? Oh, you're going to voicemail. And so, once you put everything on top of the package tray, it'll be probably flush, or maybe just an 1/8 inch down from package tray down to the bottom. That's roughly 4.5 inches. So this is where I'm at, and I got to stop for today too. Something came up and we got to take off. So give or take, yeah, we're going to fine tune it, but this is roughly it. And again, there'll be a metal going along here, and these will be 2 panels. This panel will go on first, then this panel will go on, and this panel will bolt to here, bolt to the piece that comes down here, and that's all that's going to hold it into place then. But oh, come on. But yeah, I got some adjusting to do. Hold on, let me set the camera down for a minute. Hang on. I'll be right back. Alright, I can manipulate that now. So yeah. So something like that. And a little end right here where my thumb is. So what we'll do is we'll bend one of these up to match this, and then we'll start playing with it and go from there. But then I need to bend another one of these where I shorten this distance down and try it for the top, because as well as it being, the panel will go up on a slope too. So that's all I got for now. When I have more, which will probably be tomorrow, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, this is just a quick one, and this one's for Roger, Fireman 164. This is in the Chevy High Performance, and it is the June 2017 subscription, and they are putting in the same kit in the rear end of this 67 Nova, Roger, that you are putting in to your Camaro, even with mini tubs. And it's all Detroit Speed Engineering rear chassis and suspension system. I don't know if you can read it. Well, anyway, and they have pictures and talk you different things, and pretty much so. I have part 1, part 2, and part 3 of all this. The last part of this one is they take the Nova out into the track, and you can see the body sway there, and you can't see the body sway there. But anyway, the point being, Roger, if you want me to scan all three of these articles in, part 1, part 2, and part 3, and send it to you, since you're doing almost the same thing, see the main, it says here, the main player is the 4-link quadrolink system, which you were doing from Detroit Speed with their mini tubs. This might be helpful, and if you want it, I'll scan it in and email it to you. I got your email address, but this was too much to text to you, and I figured I'd just do it in the end of this video. So if you want it, text me, tell me you want it, and I'll start scanning it in and sending it to your email. I got part 1, like I said, and I got part 2, and I got part 3. So, or if you want to go out and get it, this is, let's get the glare off it, it's June 2017 Chevy High Performance. So that's it, going to be for it for today, folks. I want to thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for leaving comments. The next thing to do is to make one of these a little bit shorter, go up there. I'm going to need the parts from Gary to get here, and speaking of him, I got to email him real quick and tell him to make me 2 more, so I get a total of 4 of these from him. This is what he's making for me out of 16th gauge steel, and I need a total of 4. So again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for leaving comments. We'll bring this back when I get more to show. Later.